Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to our channel. Today is a good day. Today we're going to actually fix a problem that is not really a problem, but it was more of a wearable item that was found during my inspection of preparing the bike for winter storage. Yeah, I know I don't store my bike for the winter, but hey, I did a video for you guys on how to properly store your bike for the winter. If you didn't see it, I'll link it up, actually, yeah, over here for you guys to check that out. But what did I find? Well, I found that my rear brakes are low, real low, and they needed to be replaced. So we took off on the bike yesterday. We went to Harley, and I picked up some new rear brake pads. That part number is 41852-08B. That part number is good from, I believe, 09 touring to current. Not sure on the new current CVOs, but I got our brake pads. What tools we're going to need? We're going to need a scraper, a small little pry bar, nice little 3/8 wrench, a nice little, what is it, 5mm Allen socket, and of course, the 5/16 Allen socket, a ratchet, Phillips screwdriver, and some fresh .4 brake fluid. Because while we're here, we might as well flush the rear brakes as well. And I'm going to collapse these calipers with, I actually collapse the rear caliper with the bleeder open, because I'm going to send all fresh fluid through, and I don't want to push it back through. Normally I don't have to, but we're going on a 1.5-year hold on this, and it should be done every 2 years. So let's take a look so you guys can see what's going on. As far as how did I find these? Well, when I was going through and I was cleaning my back wheel, you could take a look right in there that brake pad is spent. Yep, it is spent. All you can see there is very little friction material in the steel back plate. So let me get this all positioned and you can see what's going on and get this taken care of. All right, guys, so the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to remove this rubber cap over the bleeder screw. I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to slide, excuse me, there we go, inside of there. And I'm going to take a rag, trying to catch as much of this brake fluid as possible. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to work this there, and I'm going to close it. Now I got a little bit of space in there. Take my little pry bar, I'm going to open this up and close it and reposition, trying to get everything here collapsed, because it's easier to get your caliper off with it collapsed, and much easier with the caliper collapse to remove your brake caliper. So there's a little clip right here that we're just going to pop up out of the way. We'll set it to the side. Take our 6mm Allen socket, and I'm just going to break this free just a little bit. I'm going to take our 5/16 Allen socket. We're going to break these free. Need to eat some Wheaties today. All right, now I'm going to take my electric impact gun just to make my life easier. And slide this right out. And you could really see how worn down these pads are. So we need to collapse the rest of this. Got to break the bleeder free and everything. So give me a second. Let me get this done. Give me a second. All right, so here and here. All right, crack the bleeder open. And I'm gonna just pry them apart, or pry against each other until they collapse. That one is not collapsing all the way yet. So I'm gonna get up in here. Oh, it's being a pain in the neck. All right, there we go, that's better. I'll open this bleeder again. All right, so now we collapsed it completely, as you can see. We want to wipe this brake fluid off so we don't make a mess. Now we're going to take our 6mm pin out. That goes to the side, and now we could just pop our pads out. That's one. And the second one's being a pain. There we go. Two. Ooh, look at that, guys. Right there. We almost, actually we were at almost steel to steel there. Or just touching. So it's a good thing we replaced these when we did. Let's compare these to new. Don't need a receipt. Don't need instructions. They give you a nice new pin with some caliper grease. Nice new pads. More instructions. Just so everybody can take a look here. The thickness between, oh, let's grab the right one here, compare. You see there's like paper thin material here, and there's a nice amount of material here. So, yeah, we were overdue on our brake pads. So we'll take our new brake pad, and this one goes here. They only go in one way, so that one goes there. And this one goes here. And always make sure that you get them on these springs. And now we need our new pin, because they give us a nice new pin and a nice new retaining clip. So the new pin will go in, and we'll start it, but we won't tighten it yet. We'll take our caliper, put it right back on where it belongs. Our new caliper mounting bolts. So we'll tighten up our mounting bolts. Those are nice and snug, and now we will do the clip or the pin. Round one. And we'll make sure that pin is good and tight. And now for the two mounting bolts. One, two. Be careful, guys, when you do this, that your ABS wire does not come disconnected, or not disconnected, but released from the little plastic retainer. If it does, just put it right back on. Oop, it's over there now. So we'll put it back on our wire. And all that does is keep the wire safely out of the way. And just to make sure, yep, that's one. That's two. Last time. Okay, now the new safety clip, which was the first thing we removed. Right there. Look at that, huh? Very nice. Now, what we got to do is we have to pump up the rear brake. And you'll know it's completely pumped up because the pedal's good and hard and firm. And if you look back here, I grab the flashlight, you can see now that the pads are up against the rotor. They're not tight against the rotor. They have a little drag to them like they're supposed to. Now for the fun part. One is clean up our mess. Now we got to bleed out the rear brakes. So what I want to do is remove the cap to our master cylinder. And before you remove it, you want to wipe it down, get any dirt, oil, debris, any of that stuff away from there as much as possible. That's important. This is where that Phillips screwdriver comes in hand, the one I said you need. That's how you remove the master cylinder cap for the rear. Little bit of a dance here to get to the inboard side because the exhaust is in the way. But what else is new?
Trying to get a good angle.
Ah, you're fine.
There we go. It's a weird location.
Nah, it's normal.
Oh, the exhaust. Around the exhaust I can't.
Ooh, look at that.
Oh.
Hey, just for fun, guys. Just for fun, we're going to measure the moisture content of the rear brake master cylinder.
Is it supposed to be that low?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Because when I collapsed it, the way it works is when your master cylinder is full with new brake pads, it'll be full. And as the brake pads wear down, those pistons in the rear caliper come out, and that space is taken up by the brake fluid. So when you look at your brake fluid and it's low, it could mean one of two things. One, you need brake pads, or two, you got a leak of brake fluid. But you would know that because you would have no brake pressure when you step on the brakes. So that's an important thing. So this is a handy dandy moisture tester. You turn it on, take the cap off, take the two fangs. We are over 4% moisture content in the brake fluid. That is not good. That is dangerous. And so that's why we are going to replace it. And that's why you're supposed to flush your brake fluid every 2 years. Doesn't matter if it's a car, a motorcycle, a moped, an aborted snowmobile. I mean, one of those fake trikes.
Polaris.
Polaris,
Spider.
Yeah. The spiders or the slingshots.
That's a three-wheeled car. Sorry.
Yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean out as much of this old brake fluid as I can with the clean rag by absorbing it.
No.
No, I don't need the pail because I'm absorbing it. The quicker picker upper, even though it's not Bounty, they're Scott chop tiles.
It'll work.
They do work.
Yep. There you go.
That's most of it. Now we'll do.
See, it's almost done.
Yeah. Now we'll do the final, just to wipe it out, get it nice and clean, so we get nice fresh fluid going back.
The brake fluid was red. This looks yellow.
No, it's not red. That's transmission fluid.
Oh, no, yeah. This is.
Dot 4 should be clear. Your Dot 5 brake fluid for your older motorcycles or Harleys, it's purple.
Okay. My bad.
Remember that from the race car days? We had the blue
Okay.
brake fluid, because that was designed for high heat and everything for the race car.
Surprised I don't need to put that in Spaceball.
Nope, don't need it in Spaceball, because we're not track racing. All right, so now we got it all cleaned out.
Nice
Now
and shiny.
try and get this in without making a mess. See if I can use a smaller container.
Do you have a small funnel?
No, I don't have a small funnel. I'm gonna wipe this one out.
That's weird.
I used to have a small syringe I could use.
Where did you put that little one?
They've been well used by now.
Mm.
So a smaller container. I'll fill it up.
There you go.
Look at that. Nice and
Nice and
clear.
Oops, sorry. Nice and clear. You
That's
want a
it.
picture of the exhaust.
all right, so now let's bleed it. So what I need to do is have Mrs. Dr. Harley step aside, take my 3/8 wrench. I put the wrench over the bleeder, and I put the rag over the bleeder screw. And what I'll do is I'll push down here, I'll open the bleeder, and then tighten the bleeder, and then release the rear brake pedal. So we'll keep doing that till I go through about a whole master cylinder full of brake fluid. Yeah, well, you're gonna make a mess. Or, instead of making a mess, if you have it, and of course I have it, I'm very fortunate. Where are they? Ah, here it is. Dun dun dun. Da da da. They were out from the last time I was cleaning someone's brakes. A nice rubber hose, which I'm going to use this as a counterweight. You can put that on top of the bleeder. So we're going to push down, crack it open, close it. Now all that brake fluid goes through that hose. When you're doing this, watch the level of your brake fluid in your master, because you don't want to send air into your system. If you do it this way, you don't have to bypass or connect the computer and open up for the ABS system. So we got some nice fresh brake fluid, nice fresh brakes in the rear. And I will be doing the fronts in the spring. All right, a little bit more. Just top it off, and then we're going to bleed it some more. I think that was like 2 or 3 master cylinders full of bleeding. So I'm going to go on a limb and say, hey, we're good. I don't need to bleed anymore. All right. We can put all this away. That will let drain. Okay. And now we'll wipe up as much as the brake fluid as we can, because we did make a little bit of a mess earlier on showing you if you don't have the hose system like I got. I could hook up the vacuum bleeder too, but I just didn't feel like vacuum bleeding it, because I found vacuum bleeding for the rear doesn't really work out so well, because your caliper is higher than the master, and so the air always travels up high, and it just doesn't work well for me. All right, so we'll put our cap back on, the dust cap. I want to make sure that's tight again. I have a thing about making sure things like bleeder screws and mounting screws are tight. All right. And just for prosperity, let's test our brake fluid. And the fangs are in, as you can see. It's good brake fluid. It's at 0% moisture like it should. So that's a pretty good tool to have. They're really cheap. They're like $20 on Amazon. You could search brake fluid moisture tester, and it comes right up. It's a cheap little $20 tool. And so I'm going to put all this away, guys. And that's it for doing your rear brakes and bleeding your rear brakes on your touring bike. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment down below. If you made it this far in this video, please give me a like and a subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell notification. This way you get notified every time I upload a video. Until the next one, you live the best life you can. Ride often and ride hard.
Like and subscribe.